Alright guys, listen. I'm going to talk fast, but it's not because people complain that I talk slow. I'm going to talk fast because I got to cram a lot of information into this video, and I don't want it to be so long that people don't watch it because it's very important. So listen carefully. I'm not a gun expert. What I'm about to present to you, I can't say that it is a fact. However, I own a 22 rifle, I own a 30-30, I own a 12 gauge, I own a 9mm, and a couple of other guns. I've been shooting guns my whole life. I shot competitions for the 4-H, and when I was in the NJROTC a long time ago, I shot in those competitions in Florida, Mississippi, Alabama, whatever. I'm not an expert, but I do know a pretty good amount about guns. 22 rifle, for all practical purposes, is about the smallest caliber bullet you're going to get when it comes to a rifle. I've shot rabbits, squirrels, you name it, with a 22 rifle. I've shot through plywood, I've shot through wood, I've shot through tons of stuff with a 22 rifle. So I know a little bit about this. Last night, me and Boston was having a conversation about a bullet. We kind of put all the bull crap aside, the little joking and cutting remarks at each other, and we kind of got serious for a moment. And we had a conversation about 22 bullet, the caliber. Now, we discussed, do you think it would be a through and through shot? I told him there'd be variables. If a 22 bullet would be able to make it all the way through a body or all the way through a skull. And mainly the most important variable would be how close the barrel was to the skull when it was shot. So I was thinking about that last night. I went to bed, went to work today. I didn't have no time to even think about anything involving this while I was at work. I had a hectic day at work today. It was extremely busy. But as soon as I got home, got settled down, got me something to eat, I sat in a recliner. It was like somebody took a 2x4 and just hit me in the face with it. This dawned on me out of nowhere. Now, this is very important, guys, because the state presented two bullets as evidence. They presented skull fragments that said it was the hole that was consistent with a 22 caliber rifle went through Teresa Halbach's skull. They presented all kind of evidence saying and claiming that Stephen Avery shot Teresa Halbach 5 to 10 times in her body. Okay, Brendan Dassey's coerced confession says that he shot, that Stephen shot Teresa Halbach 5 to 10 times. Well, here's the problem with that. And look, there's a lot of people on YouTube that make videos about making a murder. A lot of people that make the videos think that he's innocent, and I'm just coming into this. So if somebody else has thought of this, I'm not copying off of them. This just dawned on me. So I'm not saying that this is groundbreaking. Nobody's ever thought of this. I'm sure somebody has. But as far as I'm concerned, like for instance, if I know somebody does making a murder videos, I'll watch their current videos, but I haven't, they've been doing this for 3 years. I haven't gone back and watched every single one of their videos. So just a quick disclaimer. I'm not saying I'm an expert. I'm not saying that what I'm about to say proves anything. But this is what I know. The state has a serious problem with the theory that they presented. If Stephen Avery shot Teresa Halbach 5 to 10 times, Dassey's coerced confession said, I believe, that once in the head and then the rest was in the rest of the body. This is what I know. If you shoot somebody 5 to 10 times with a 22 caliber rifle, you might get, just like I talked to Boston about, you might get one or two through and through shots, depending on where you shot. Did it hit a bone? How close was the barrel, etc. Many different variables, but the more shots, the less these variables come into play. For instance, if they claimed he shot her one time, then this really wouldn't be a discussion. because they found the bullet with her DNA on it. Here's the thing. If if he shot her 5 to 10 times, anybody that believes that, in my opinion, can no longer believe that. Because I know this for a fact. Not all of those bullets, if you shoot somebody 5 to 10, let's say 10 times, in the body, whatever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. A couple of those, I'll give you a couple. A couple of those bullets might come out. But guess what? Not all of them are. That's the beauty of the state claiming that she was shot with a .22 rifle 5 to 10 times. Somebody even said 11. Because if she was shot that many times, not all of those shots would have been through and through shots. Some of those bullets would have still been in her body. And if you don't know where I'm going with this yet, you're about to. If that was the case, that means she has lead fragments just like item FL, okay, inside her body, because the bullet, typically with a .22, it'll hit and then it'll bounce around in the body because it don't have the power to go all the way through. So if that's the case, Stephen Avery supposedly carries her body or puts it on a creeper, whatever theory you want to put on it. Most guilters agreed that Teresa Halbach's body was placed on Stephen Avery's burn pit. Tires, branches, couches, cabinets was placed on top of it, and her body was cremated right there on that burn pit. Well, guess what? Once all of her skin goes away and her muscle and her fat and juices and all of these things, guess what you have left? You have bone left. But guess what else you have left? You have lead bullet fragments laying in that burn pit. Just like the rivets. The lead don't burn. You can burn it all day. It's not going nowhere. So guess what? When they dug up and sifted, a forensic anthropologist, and guilters are always taken up for these people that did this investigation against this sick monster, Stephen Avery. Well, I'm here to tell you, to my knowledge, now I'm not saying there's not a court document that says this. I don't know. I haven't read every court document. To my knowledge, there's not one single bullet found in a sieve from the forensic anthropologist. And you're not going to tell me that they didn't work very hard to sieve through every bit of that burn area. Think about it. Come on. If you're a guilter, think about this. I'm not trying to 100% sway your mind, but think about this. Lead bullets in the body completely goes away at some point during this fire. Okay, everything is consumed. The lead fragments would be in that burn pit. When you take all of the dirt out, now, Stephen wouldn't have been able to dig through there and find those lead bullets. If that's the case, or if he had any desire to, if that's the case, he would have got the rivets, etc., whatever. But that means when that body completely consumed everything except bone, those lead fragments would be in that burn pit. They would have put all of the dirt, everything they dug up, they ran it through a sieve. And there were no reports, to my knowledge, that any .22 fragments, any 22 bullet fragments were found in that burn pit. If there were, and I don't think there are, you can let me know, because the only thing presented in court, to my knowledge, was item FL and item F something else. The bullet that I don't think it had any DNA on it or whatever. And Another thing I thought about was um, crap. I don't forgot what I thought about. I got so excited when I thought about this because I mean, if you really give this an honest thought and you don't think from an innocent side or a guilty side, and you just think, okay, well, the state is saying that this key was Teresa Halbach's key. The key only has Teresa's DNA on it. My DNA expert refutes that. Others do as well. Makes no sense. You'd have a mixture, or only the owners own such a key. Okay? So you can't, reasonably in your mind, and even Kratz said it, that even if the key was planted, just put that aside. Okay, well, you have to keep that in mind. Okay, let's just say that the key was planted. Okay? That's one piece of evidence. Now, let's say this whole theory, everything, one day I'm going to dissect Brendan Dassey's testimony or confession because there's no physical evidence to back it up. But let's just say, okay, the key's planted. And Brendan claims that Stephen shot Teresa Halbach 5 to 10 times. The state only presents 2 bullets. Those 2 bullets that they found would have to be through and through shots. That means there's 6 bullets left inside the body. You would have found 22 bullets in the burn pit that came out of Teresa Halbach's body. So, to me, and this is just my opinion, when you start looking and thinking about this in a common sense, because before people would I'm not going to sit here and just be so stuck on the fact that I think Stephen Avery is innocent that I'm not going to keep an open mind. People have said things and brought things up that's made me think. So before I'm like, I'm on the innocent side for sure, but I'm not all the way on the end down there. I'm just somewhere like this just doesn't add up. I'm a big evidence type person. I like dissecting evidence. So then the keys always bugged me. But now we have no bullets in the burn pit. No bullets in a burn barrel. We have bones in a burn pit. We have bones in a burn barrel. We have 3 other, whether it's one piece of bone or a pile of bones, whatever the case is, we have 3 other sections of bones on Manitowoc County property. We have a confession that was used to convict Brendan Dassey that says this girl was raped, throat cut, murdered, stabbed in the stomach or something like that. All these different things that they claim happened in the bedroom. My DNA expert said that there's not a chance in hell that you would get the DNA out of that mattress that would have took place, or through the carpet. So the more you really start looking at this, it stops being a conspiracy theory and it starts making sense. Now, you can be just as stubborn as we are, the people that thinks he's innocent, and just refuse to look at certain things, which I pride myself in trying not to be that way. But you can be stubborn. You can just say, no matter what, Stephen Avery, he there's speculation that he molested kids, and there's speculation that he beat women, and he did this and he did that. So even if whatever the case is, he deserves to be in there. If he's guilty of all those other things, and he's prosecuted on all of those other things, I can't take up for Stephen Avery. But when he is prosecuted for murder with this evidence, like it is absurd, the errors in this case. You have to at least give it some thought. Think about this. There's too many things that does not make sense. One more thing real quick. I learned today that I was reading Kratz's criminal complaint against Stephen Avery, the amended one, and it said that Brendan Dassey rode with Stephen Avery to park the RAV. Obviously, that's how he knew he went under the hood, supposedly, right? And then it said that Stephen Avery removes the tags off of the vehicle, per Brendan Dassey's confession. And last I heard, the tags were found in a station wagon behind his house. Why would he carry the tags all the way from the RAV and bring it back to his house? Why wouldn't he? There's like 4,000 other cars you could have put that like under a seat, in the trunk, in a hood, under a tire. Like there's literally 10,000 other better places to hide those license plates than in a station wagon behind your house. There's 10,000 other places to hide a key other than your bedroom. If you were Stephen Avery and you killed Teresa Halbach and you wanted to keep the key until you got an opportunity to go crush the car. 10,000 better places to go hide it. None of this makes any sense. At what point are we going to realize this and come together? Because split it and divide it as guilters and people that think he's guilty, we're not that powerful of a group at all. But we'd be hell to reckon with if we all came together. Now, that's easier said than done, given the fact that we can't convince certain people and they can't convince us. But a lot of the guilters just use court documents and this and this and that, and they say, well, this is fact because this is in the court document, or the cop said this, or the judge said this. Well, guess what? And I'm saying if he was framed, of course all of the court documents are going to support the theory of him being guilty. But if not, who's going to be there to refute all of these inaccuracies? So let me know what you think. I honestly, barring that this isn't a completely old theory, I think this was a pretty good, enlightenment to me to have thought of this. And I'm very interested to hear what y'all think. I'm interested to hear if anybody else has ever mentioned this at all. So let me know what you think. Like this video, share, subscribe, and talk to y'all later.